Honey, I think you left your art kit at home. What? Oh God, let me check. Mom, I really forgot. What am I going to do now? It's okay. Do you need it ASAP? My classes will start at 2, so I have almost 2 hours. I was in such a hurry that I left it at home. Can you please drop it here? I'm sorry, baby, but I have some work. But I already told Daphne. She'll be on her way in like 15 minutes. Why did you ask her? Sylvie, are you guys still not talking? What's the matter? We're not fighting, Mom. We just chose to stay a little away from each other for the time being. What do you mean, away? You guys are sisters. Don't say things like this. Mom, things are just a little difficult for us right now. We are not kids anymore. What do you mean? You guys are twins. You guys are inseparable. Always have been. But don't you think it's high time we choose our paths? I know we have been inseparable for the past 20 years. We do everything together. But I don't think any of us would like to continue that. What about our identity? Most people confuse us for the other, even though our looks are not that similar. And then the paths we have chosen. She is a law student while I'm practicing art. We are different, Mom. Way too different from each other. But we forgot to take this step before because of our inseparable theory, and now it's challenging to move past that phase. Sylvie, it's okay. There is nothing wrong with being close to your twin. Did something else happen? Did someone say anything to you guys? Nothing, Mom. Never mind. Just, I want my art kit. We'll have this conversation later. Whatever you say. Take care. Daphne will be there soon. Okay, bye. Ever since we were kids, Daphne and I have been inseparable. That is precisely how twins are supposed to be. Or that's what we have heard. We did everything together. In fact, all our subjects and interests until high school were similar. We are identical twins with slight differences in our features for people to distinguish after a few tries. However, our surroundings always confuse us with each other. Daphne is the older twin, and even though our interests were similar, she has always been better than me. Back in middle school, there was a time when a boy came up to me thinking I was Daphne and told me how amazing my sister was while I was an average kid. That was the first time I felt rejected. Not by that person, but by the world. I was not good enough, so I gave my all in everything I chose. I wanted to run away from Daphne. However, she always stayed. I hated how she acted all unfazed. I hated how she kept encouraging me. I never spoke up, but it always felt like she was looking down on me. But once we graduated, I finally made a choice. Daphne agreed, and we decided on our field of interest. We are in the same college, but the people there have a strange fetish for us. 3 months in, it started again. The comparison and the, "Oh, your sister is amazing" bullshit. I became the inferior twin. But what hurt me more was that my best friend, Jacob, had a crush on my sister. But the problem is that I am in love with him. We have been friends since middle school, and Daphne didn't even have such a close relationship with him. But he just had to fall for her. Call me a petty and jealous bitch or so unreasonable, but that was the last straw. I couldn't take it anymore, and a week ago, I lashed out at Daphne. Since then, we haven't been talking, and I hope we maintain that distance. Hey, Daph. How are you? Hey, Jacob. Thank God, I thought I had lost your number. When Sylvie told me you changed numbers, I asked her if she could share it. I see. So, how is college going? I'm trying my best. There is a lot for me to learn, though. It can get a little complicated at times, LOL. How about you? What is mechanical engineering like? Time-consuming, exhausting, and it makes me want to curl up into a ball and cry every night. When was the last time you got proper sleep, LOL? A week ago? I have been sleeping for 2 to 3 hours for the last few days. Same. And midterms are on the way too. I don't know how I will memorize all these theories and arguments. My study is flooded with all sorts of law books and files. You can do it, Daph. I'm cheering for you. That's extremely sweet of you. Thanks, Jake. The pleasure is all mine. By the way, will you be free this weekend? I'm not so sure. Why? Oh, well, I want to meet you, if it's okay with you. Did you ask Sylvie? No, why would I? I mean, I want to meet you, Daphne. I'm asking you out on a date. Jake, I really appreciate it, but I'm sorry. I'll be busy. You should give up on me. Why do you keep saying that? Am I forcing you? I like you too much to leave you like this. And even if you can't reciprocate my feelings, I want us to be friends. That's all I ever wanted, to be by your side. Is that too much to ask? Jake, you're an amazing guy, but I'm not the one for you. It'll be unfair if I keep leading you on for no reason. But you're not. All you're doing is pushing me away. Why? Is it because of Sylvia? Yes, she likes you, Jake. Are you that blind to realize that? Daph, listen. I see her as a friend, that's all. I don't want to give her any wrong impression, and I've always made it very clear who I'm interested in. I like you. Actually, I love you, Daphne. And I know you have feelings for me, too. But because Sylvia is a big part of your life, you don't want to ruin things for her. You already know, Jake, how our relationship has become. She is starting to hate me. I don't want to give her another big reason to hate me. I can't lose her, Jacob. She is my sister. You've always looked after her, Daphne. Always. You sacrificed so many things for her. Out of all those subjects you went for in high school, you weren't interested in half of them, but because you didn't want to stand out and take the spotlight away from your sister, you ignored your passion. You wanted to go to the debate competition, but you missed it too. You tried to join the newspaper club, but for her, you missed that too. Sylvie is my friend, and she will always be that, but I know how much she envied you. Back then, she didn't realize what she was good at and blamed you for her inferiority complex. But at least that kept us close. Now that we have different paths, people are comparing us and calling me better and stuff, and I'm just so angry at those morons. She lashed out at me for that, and we hadn't talked to each other for the last 2 weeks. I feel terrible. I feel like I'm losing her, and if I make another wrong decision, it will all be over. So you're going to keep denying your feelings for me, huh? Great. You're too good to her, but she needs to realize her mistakes too. I'm sorry, Jacob. It's okay. I know why you maintained a safe distance from me back in high school. I'm used to getting rejected by you, Daph. But you're a great human being. That's why I fell so hard for you. Talk to you later then. Take care. And good luck with the midterms. You'll do good. A few more days went by, but I kept ignoring Daphne. Though one day, she caught me by surprise and asked me to talk to her. I agreed half-heartedly, and we sat down in her room. Looking at her, it seemed like she hadn't slept well lately. There was no mistaking it. She had been crying because of the pressure I'd put on her. Her eyes were red and puffy, and I felt guilty for making her endure all this. But an apology never slipped out of my stubborn mouth. I knew I was wrong, but I didn't dare acknowledge my mistakes. We talked for 2 hours. She told me things I never knew of. About how she missed something that she was interested in, just not to leave me behind. She kept apologizing for making me feel miserable and incompetent for all these years by just staying beside me. And then she talked to me about Jacob and that she'll never get in my way. I felt like something had stabbed me. I knew she was expressing all those subdued emotions, but in my mind, it sounded like she was looking down on me. Oh, I'm so jealous of her. I so hated her for always being better, for always being so kind and great and a lovely sister, while I am the despicable one who pushed my sister away for no reason. All in all, I didn't want to listen to her sob story anymore. I just wanted to get away from her. Without even thinking, I started yelling at her. I started calling her names, and before rushing out of her room, I cried, "I hope you just disappear." Hey, Jacob, what are you doing tonight?
Nothing much. What about you?
Same. I don't have any more classes today, so I thought maybe we could hang out for a little while?
Yeah, sure.
Great, I'll see you at our usual spot then.
Hey, Sylvie?
Yeah, what is it?
Did you talk to Daphne?
Yeah, I did.
Is everything okay between you two?
Yeah, why? Did she say anything to you?
You know she never says anything to anyone.
All right, so what exactly are you trying to say?
Be a little nice to her, and stop blaming her for your problems.
WTF, Jake? I never did that.
Are you sure?
God, I don't know why we are talking about her in the first place. Can't we just have some normal conversation?
I want to talk about her. Is that a problem with you?
Yes, it is. Why do you want to talk about someone with zero interest in you? I've told you so many times she is not interested in you, Jake. It would be best if you moved on. I want the best for you, that's all.
It's not about my feelings, Sylvia. It's about Daphne and how much she has been holding back. You've been treating her like shit. What's wrong with you?
That's our business, Jake. And why the hell are you trying to advocate for my sister? Is she your girlfriend now or what?
That's the difference between you two, Sylvie. Daphne would happily sacrifice her happiness for you. She has been doing that so she can look after you. But what have you done except for making her feel guilty and terrible about herself? I'll tell you something, Sylvie. You know why she always stayed by your side? Because you needed her. She was your anchor. You clutched onto her. Did you forget how you used to cry in middle school when she was not around you? How you'd ask her to join all those clubs you were interested in while she silently played along? How she'd come to defend you every time some jerk would make fun of you for being the stupid twin? Did you really forget all about that? And you know what else she did for you? She gave up on me. Pushed me away so you could be with me. She has been rooting for the two of us and telling me all these stories about you because she wants you to be happy. She has tried so many times to make me fall for you. But I'm sorry, Sylvie. She is the one I love. She tried so much. She did so much for you. But you have been nothing but ungrateful to her. You don't even want to see how much she has been suffering alone.
So, does our friendship mean nothing to you? You are throwing it all away just because you're in love with my sister?
I'm not throwing our friendship away, Sylvia. I'm asking you to save your relationship with Daphne. Don't let her go like this. She loves you, way more than you can ever imagine.
But I've messed up. She'll never forgive me.
Where is she right now?
I don't know. She left for college early in the morning.
Try calling her.
Okay. I gave her a few calls, but the number was switched off. She isn't picking up. It's switched off.
Wait, let me try. It's switched off. Where is she?
Maybe she's still in class?
She's generally done with her classes at this hour.
I was starting to panic, and my fear only came true when I received a call from my mother, who, in a shaky voice, told me that the bus my sister was in got hit by a truck. Passengers were severely injured and were all rushed to the hospital as soon as possible. Hearing this, I almost dropped my phone, my breathing heavy and lips quivering as I recalled what I had said to her last night. But Mom's voice snapped me back to reality. She asked me to go to the hospital as soon as possible, and I nodded. Before leaving, I called Jacob to tell him what had happened. He didn't react and just said he was on his way. All four of us made it there almost at the same time. Mom was sobbing, and I remained frozen while Jacob and Dad looked for the doctor. When we met him, he told us, while her life was no longer in danger, she had been badly wounded, and that she has been paralyzed down her waist. I broke down, my knees hitting the ground. I wished for it. I wanted her to disappear. So, why am I playing the victim again? The guilt was eating me up, and I didn't know how to face Daphne anymore. A few hours went by, but fortunately, she regained consciousness. Mom and Dad went in, but I just couldn't. That was when Jacob pulled me up from the seat.
Go talk to her, you dummy.
Reluctant as I was, I nodded and went in. My heart broke when I saw her on the bed. She was wrapped in bandages, but the moment our eyes met, she gave me a thumbs up with a cheerful smile. I ran to her, hugging her as gently as possible, and just repeated sorry in her ears. I didn't deserve her forgiveness, but still, she consoled me. Still, she said she can never be angry with me. You are a part of me, Sylvie. My other half. Yes. Yes, we are. She is my sister, my best friend, who always looked after me. How was I supposed to live without her? 2 weeks later, she was discharged from the hospital. The good news was that through rehabilitative therapy, Daphne would be able to walk again. It will take time, but she will be okay again. Me and Jacob made it our new goal. Today, the two are getting closer than ever during our little strolls. But what's entertaining is that I generally leave the two alone for some private time. There's no jealousy in my heart anymore, just contentment. Guilt still surges up my chest, but Daphne keeps on helping me. We both are taking therapy together and healing. I'm happy, more than ever, and now all I want is to become a better person on whom my sister can one day rely.